Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Scenes with Bethel Athletics. I'm Dave McCulley. I'm joined by Zach O'Kelly, our producer and director from the SID office, and we're happy this week to be talking to Coach Brandon Kilburn, good buddy of ours and longtime friend, and he's also of course, the outstanding track cross country. I'm glad he does track too, but cross country coach here, both the men and women. It's time this week to take a look at cross country with Coach Kilburn. Brandon, first of all, you and I could talk some Duke Kentucky basketball, I guess, for a while, but the fans, Bethel fans, don't want to hear that. They want to hear about cross country. How are you, and how's the summer going?
Good. You know, it's weird for everybody right now, and so it's just a little bit of an adjustment. The kids came back in somewhat shape, and so it's always exciting, you know, considering they left in February. You never know what you're going to get. So.
Yeah, I think that's one thing when we talk to other coaches, we forget sometimes about how the kids, maybe you try to stress to them to stay in shape, do the right things, nutrition-wise, as running-wise as well. But certainly in your case, that's really important with that cross country. Let's talk about the women first of all. Coming off a season last year that you have a lot of new faces coming in. You had 4 new runners, but you do have 9 returners and losing 2 seniors. Talk a little bit about the mix of what you lost and what you've got coming back.
Sure. Yeah, last year was the best finish we had in the Southern States. Of course, we've moved over to the Mid-South now. We return our best runner we've ever had in school history, Andrea De La Rosa. She has every record in every event that she could run.
All conference performer, freshman of the year.
National qualifier. She shattered her very first race in college. She beat the school record by 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, just a really talented young lady. And so,
did she surprise you a little bit, or did you have expectations that she was going to be that good?
Well, we knew her times from high school,
yeah.
But she also ran in South Texas, and so like what we call a ditch, they call a mountain.
Yeah.
You know, from that area, it's so flat, and so the adjustment. Of course, we have humidity. It's 110 in Texas with it's dry heat,
yeah.
So it's always an adjustment.
Sure.
We've had several kids from there, so we didn't know. Yeah, I mean, she was better than I thought, and she was better because she was such a good team person.
Right.
She worked just tirelessly. I mean, like, she deserved to run the time she ran.
Sure.
So just a pleasure to be around.
Well, I know she had a great year for you, and I know you have high expectations for her, and you'll look to her, and Jennifer Lopez, for example, the senior. You'll look for them some senior leadership with all these new people coming in.
Yes, sir. And we brought them in. 3 of the ones that I'm not sure if we have it on there are from the same high school. It's White House Heritage.
Oh, yeah.
We have a good connection with the coach there, so it's not a concern. He prepares them for college, and so that won't be as big. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez has been really, really good for us. She did have our school record until Andrea De La Rosa got here, so she's a very talented young lady. She's doing a good job right now trying to mentor, you know, show them the ropes, because we're really young. I don't think we have but 1 junior. It's all either her and then a bunch of freshmen and sophomores.
Let's mention those kids from White House, and another newcomer we want to mention too, Isabella Richardson, Mackenzie Bennett, and Emily Roke, okay. And those are kids that you have some really good expectations for.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and they all ran almost the same times in high school, and so all times that would help us. And so we're very excited about what they'll bring, and then we bring in McKinney Gaskin from West Carroll.
Yeah.
I think it's the first girl we ever got from there, and I know the coach there really well.
Sure.
Great guy. He's very invested in her future, so It's always good when a coach, after the fact, is keeping up.
One thing about those White House kids too is the fact that they'll be really competitive with each other too.
Yes, and that was the one thing when we got them. Like, the one that was the best, the story I was told from the coach, 2 of them were scared to beat her, and so now it's like you're getting paid to do this. So I think that'll help them. We look forward to them really being about it.
Very fine assistant. Wes is back with you as well.
Wes Bradshaw is back. Wes has been, I think this is his 3rd year with us, and he was a student assistant for 1 year, so it feels like Wes has been there for a long time. Yeah, I can't overstate the value Wes brings to the program. Like, with us having track as well, you know, somebody's got to do one, somebody's got to do the other, and then with the year we might have where track and cross are going to come together, Wes is going to get his plate's going to be pretty full.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I know that you're trying to schedule some things here in the fall, and then most of the season pushed back after January, but that's been a task in itself, trying to see who's eligible to play as far as schools that will allow some sports to take place, some that won't. But you do have the right to maybe compete, to have 3 or 4 races in the fall. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And the conference right now has got 2 dates set out to have a pre-conference race. That was kind of like the course showcase.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's October 17th is the tentative date that we'll have
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
When all this started, and I've got to give them credit, Freed Hardeman's coach had got together with Blue Mountain's coach and decided, hey, next year's going to be crazy, probably going to be some budget issues, probably going to be some travel concerns.
Sure.
So us, Blue Mountain, Mark Methodist, and Freed are going to have 2 races, one at Freed, one at Blue Mountain, where it's just us 4. We can kind of social distance, kind of keep our space. You don't have to get a hotel.
Sure. Yeah.
A lot of positives, and it's going to be a little cheaper as far as I go. So we
Right.
plan on doing Freed October 1st,
Okay.
Free Conference October 17th, and then Blue Mountain October
Good.
26th.
Excited about that. We'll be looking forward to covering those. Of course, the SID office trying to stay busy just like everyone else, and we look forward to that. You'll sort of have the spotlight during that
We
time
will,
as
yeah.
well.
I think just us and golf.
Yeah. Mid-South Conference, your expectations there, and what do we know about the conference?
Well, it's better, and that's no knock on the Southern States. The Southern States was a fantastic conference. I really enjoyed being at. My call was really good to us. Coaches were good to us. Shawnee State is, I think, women's their preseason number 7, men number 3 in the nation. Highest ranking we had in the Southern States was, I think, William Carey got to 25th on the men's side.
Yeah.
So that's a big jump. And then there's the depth is just insane compared to what we're used to.
We'll talk about the men and break it down a little bit individually with them and the team as well in just a minute. But let's talk about what you've done with the men and the women both as far as how you've approached this time off a little bit. Normally you're going full blast at this time. How have you done that? And what are you and your teams doing to promote the right protocols, the mask, washing the hands, and the social distancing?
Sure, yeah, it's a different world for everybody. One, we're listening to information from Mr. Chappell and from
Right.
Jason in athletic training, but we do the temperature checks. We chart that every day. We check everything in with the NAI. We don't let them touch, like we do the Gatorade cups, the little styrofoams with the cooler. We do not let them touch the cups or the cooler ever. Like Wes and I have turned into, I don't know what you call it, custodians, essentially. We're filling up the cups, we're wiping everything down. We've got bottles of Lysol, we're spraying everything. And like, I think every sport has this challenge. Once you're actually practicing stretching and running, it's really difficult to social distance. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah.
And so right now we're actually doing partners. We're not
Good.
having organized practice. Just give it a couple weeks to get them used to wearing. This is a whole new world for them and us. And so that's something we're trying to.
Good point. I know you want to challenge our fans and supporters of Bethel and all the other collegiate circles and high schools for that matter to do the right things too.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the one thing, it doesn't, and I tell our kids this all the time, it doesn't matter what you do when we're watching, and it doesn't, this is a joint effort. Everybody has to do their part in this, and so one person can ruin it for the rest of them.
Absolutely.
So that's the one thing. Like when you leave our practice, I know you're doing what's right, but I don't know what you're doing after you're done.
And that covers both programs, men and women. Let's go over to the men for a few minutes before we break. You're losing 2 runners, but you're adding some new ones. The Cats, you've had really good success in the Southern States. I mean, you've been right there at the top of the heap for the most part every year. Talk about who you lost, who you bringing.
Sure, we lost Christian Machuca, who was 4-time national qualifier.
Sure.
We've never had that before.
You were all over the country with him, weren't you?
We were everywhere. He took me to places I've never been before, good, bad, and indifferent. Great kid, great runner. And then we lost Emmanuel Guerrero, who was 3-time national qualifier. Both of them won 2 conference championships in the Southern States while they were with us. The other 2 seasons they were runner-up. Machuca was, I think he went second, third in his 4-year career. Like it was a very decorated career. So replacing him and Emmanuel Guerrero will be difficult. We bring back Anthony Garza, who has every record from the 800 and up for our school.
2018-19 SSC champion.
SSA champion, runner-up last year. And I honestly still, to this day, believe he would have won it if he just got of his own way. He decided to try to take off with 2 miles to go instead of waiting to the last mile. The kid whipped him pretty good. He learned a good lesson. Something hopefully he'll carry into this year. So
Herrera, another kid that you're bringing back?
Yeah, 2-time national qualifier, all freshman, all conference, had a very good career. That'll kind of be the end. Those 2 are the last 2 that I have from Brownsville, Texas, from a high school called
That's a
Brown.
good connection there,
I do. It's from Rivera. We've got some ones from Hannah and some Pace kids, but from Rivera, they're kind of my last 2 on the men's side, of which it's kind of sad to see it, but they've been really good kids and they've been very successful.
Always have trouble, even as the SID here with Dennis's last name. Solid freshman year for you.
Yeah, he had a good year. Kip Kimboy was the last name. Every Kenyan we ever bring in, it's an adjustment running on pavement. Same for him. He battled with a little bit of Achilles stuff and shin splints. Very good year. Dennis is as good a kid as you'll ever meet. He's the one that you want to introduce your daughter to. Just the nicest guy you ever meet. Good year. I think this year he's poised for a breakout season.
Going into Mid-South, we talked about the Mid-South with the women. What's the Mid-South look like on the men's side?
Very similar. Shawnee, again, really good. Cumberland, Tennessee, both have very solid programs. And then it's just that depth. In the southern states, after you got through about 4, there was a drop-off. There's no drop-off in the Mid-South. I mean, it's every...
Seems it's that way in every sport.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like just good school or good teams in almost every sport.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we wish you a lot of success. You've done a great job, and you've challenged the fans on what to do with the protocols. You've done a great job here in years past. We look forward to some great, not only expectations, but results in the Mid-South of both the men and women. 2 last on a lighter note, who's going to be better this year, Duke or Kentucky?
I just hope they play first. This is the only year that I might say if Kentucky won the tournament, at least we had the tournament.
Yeah, sure.
And I may want to retract that
same
later.
Same here. And then one last thing, who's got the better golf game right now, you or Coach A.J. Johnson?
Depends on where we play. If we're at Carroll Lake, he gets me every time. We get off his home turf, I got a good chance.
He doesn't use the foot wedge a lot, does he?
Well, I use that.
You do? Okay. All right. We appreciate you dropping by and talking to us. This has been another edition of This Week Behind the Scenes with Bethel Athletics. Zach McGilly has been our producer and director. Coach, stay safe. Keep those kids safe, and we look forward to those events in October and then in the spring with the cross country here at Bethel.
Really appreciate you having me. Thank
All right,
you.
Coach Brandon Kilburn does a great job here with us, good friend of ours. We appreciate him dropping by. That's going to wrap it up for this edition. We'll have some more coming up, and I'm not sure who we're going to have up next. We'll just have to wait and watch with Zach O'Kelly and yours truly from the Sports Information Department office here at Bethel. That's going to wrap it up for Coach Kilburn and for Zach O'Kelly. I'm Diamond Dave McCulley. So long, everybody.